you could win $500 by simply sharing the wildest story that ever happened to you at work. Hey, I'm Kelly Kennedy, host of the I Used to Work There podcast, a podcast dedicated to shedding a light on all of the crazy, wild, funny, dark, and inspiring things that happen to us throughout our work lives. We are holding our very first Employee of the Month competition, which means if you submit a story between June 15th and July 31st, 2026, it will be eligible for a $500 USD cash prize. The only question left is this. Are you going to be the Employee of the Month?
It was about 2:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, I think, and the phone rang, and it's one of our employees. So I answered the phone, and she is hysterical. Just starts going off about how she had to work today, but she's off work tomorrow, and she just went out for a few drinks and was hanging out with some friends, and then they were hanging out with some drug dealers, and now she's at 7-Eleven and she's been shot in the leg. It was a really weird phone call.
Welcome back to I Used to Work There. It is our 4th episode, and we have an absolutely incredible show for you today. One that ends in a bang. If you've been enjoying the show so far, please leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're enjoying this show, leave us a comment, leave us a review, leave us a rating. And most importantly, if you have a story and it happened to you at work, I want to hear it. HR@IusedToWorkThere.com, and we will get you onto a future episode. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome Tristan from Edmonton to the show. Tristan, welcome. You have a story for us. What happened?
Hey, so I was already like, wow, this one's kind of weird. All right, for context, it was back in like 2022 in Coquitlam in near Vancouver. It's a very hilly area. It's very rainy. And this is in the springtime. And I was a sales manager at a company. We did a lot of landscaping and stuff like that. And, you know, we have to hire a lot of people, sometimes from diverse backgrounds is the nice way to say it. But also on that side, it's like a lot of people that just probably unemployed anywhere else, and we give them a chance. And a big thing is like you have to physically be able to do it. There's a lot of steps, a lot of vetting, that kind of stuff to make sure that the person's good and like there's no problems with that. And we go through a lot of checks, a lot of training and stuff. And so this is the guy's very first day. And so we're driving out to the area that we have to work in. We have a piece of equipment called an aerator. Think of it as just a giant big green lawnmower that weighs like 200 and some pounds.
You gotta manhandle those things around.
Yeah, totally. This is why it's like you have to be physically fit.
Yes,
and this is exactly where the problem. Oh yeah, dude. Like, yeah, like I told my family because they asked me like, oh yeah, is it like worth like for me to rent it to then go get it? And I'm like, not at all. Like the rental's $100. You just pay someone $100 and they do it and way better and faster. Like
no kidding. Well, now I know for next year we did the dumb way. We rented it,
dude. Because then you have to clean it. Then you have to gas. You're spending just as much money. It's a motorcycle. You rented a motorcycle for a day. It sucks. Like, do your neighbor's place at least.
Only a motorcycle is a lot more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like it literally costs less. Like the math, if you look at it. It's like a $2,000 piece of machinery. If you paid someone $100 every single year, even if you did it 2 times a year, it's still 10 years to pay it off. It doesn't make sense even to rent it. It's so anyway, so part of that is like, you know, it is heavy and like, but if you do certain techniques, you can make it pretty light. You can push the whole thing with one hand. Pretty simple. And you can run with it. I've literally done marathons and sprints, I swear to God, with this thing for kilometers. You can do that. But it's Coquitlam. It's super hilly and it's also raining. It's Vancouver. It rains all the time. It kind of sucks. That's why I don't think I could ever live there for prolonged periods. Great place. I love the people. But, it's back in the 2020, 2022, something like that, in this early spring. So it's a little cold, a little rainy, and we just finished training at the park, which means we take everyone out to a park, we release them out there, make sure that everyone's confident and comfortable training on the machines, and that, if I identify someone that's going to suck at doing the machine or they're dangerous or a hazard to themselves, I give them the extra training, or I just say like, hey, you probably shouldn't do this with all the intent that you have. And this is one of those cases where the person looked beyond confident and actually did phenomenal, and then stuff went incredibly wrong. So we picked up all the machines. Everyone was doing a really great job. It's just like any other day where it's like, okay, let's just get people out there. Let's get jobs done. Everyone's having a good time. We load up, we drive off, and then we drop people out. So once we drop the people off, I'm like, hey, this is your first couple jobs. Like, go over there. You know what you need to do. You're good. Just go in the backyard, do it up. You're fine. I come back to check on him. And as I'm driving over to him, he starts like calling me just like back to back to back. And I'm like, I'm busy. Like I'm there to be attentive. And it's the first day, totally. So I pick up the phone. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, oh yeah, just like, I need to see you. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, okay, is everyone fine? No one's hurt? And he's like, no. Like, I need to explain this to you. And I'm like, okay, in my head, this guy's going to quit. It's a little rainy. It's hills. It just sucks. Like, you're pushing this equipment up, then down.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. So I go to see him. I pull up on the side of the road, and I jump out, and I put my hood back up. And I'm like, hey, so like, what's going on, man? Like, just tell me, talk to me. And he's like, yeah, just like, I'm having a real hard time like pushing this around, and like, it's just like, it's really rainy, and like, this is really difficult, and it's just like, I'm really sore, like my body's hurting. And I'm like, in my head, I already know these are things that people are going to bring up. I have responses to them. They're just like objections, right? No different than sales. People also themselves have objections. And I'm like, okay, like, let's take a look. Let's see the technique that you're pushing this thing around. Maybe you're just doing something different, and let's see if we can fix it. And it's like, no, man, it's because of this. And then he proceeds to pull down his sleeve all the way down to his elbow like this and says, see? And then he has a giant, like, brand new fresh surgery scar all the way down to the pit. I've never seen something like this, with the biggest stitches ever. Like, not even the quick dissolve ones, but like, they're practically staples in his arm.
So like his
like,
whole forearm
all the way down to his elbow is like brand new fresh. Like, I swear he probably took off the hospital tag on his wrist like that morning.
Wow.
And he's like, yeah, just like, like I had a compound fracture in my arm, and like they had to replace all my like, like do this, and like my tendons and stuff, and everything's like puffy and red and irritated. And I'm like, dude, you don't even have gauze on this. You don't have any, it's just naked open, and like it's been raining, you've been sweating. It's just on like a sleeve of like a rain jacket.
Gosh. Yeah.
And I thought that was bad. I'm already like, this guy's a walking like problem for WCB. Like, this is just a case manager's
this is
wet
a liability.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, we just interviewed you like a week ago. When did this happen? Like, you did not have these problems. So I'm like, okay. So number one, I'm like, I already have to send this guy home. No problem. Yeah. And then when he did change it from, okay, we're sending you home, to like, hey, we're sending you home, and like, don't touch anything. Give us all of your stuff. Please leave. He then says like, oh my God, like it's so difficult. It's so terrible. Like, today I'm so sore. Like, my body hurts so much. I'm like, yeah, you have a giant C-section on your arm. Like, of course, like, it just birthed the baby. So he then pulls up his backpack, and he unzips it. And I'm like, okay, he's going to like hand me, company supplies, hand it back, right? He's done. That's where his mind's at. No, he pulls out an empty bottle of liquor, and he's like, I had to drink this just to even get through the day. And I'm like, wow, that's insane. Why are you telling me this? Like, I almost don't want to know. You're already going home. Don't make this worse. And then he puts his backpack on the ground and then pulls another. So he has like 2 small bottles of alcohol that are empty with a little bit in the bottom. And then he's like, yeah, I had to drink these just to get through the morning. I'm like, dude, it's 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. We started at like 8. Like, this is not that. I'm like, wow, I can't even smell alcohol in you. You're like you're a practiced professional alcoholic. This is incredible.
Oh my gosh. Oh, holy moly. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was running the aerator machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my story quickly, guys, on the aerator machine. My arms were like in insane pain after just my yard of aerating without any damage. I can't imagine what that must have been like.
Yeah. My favorite part, it gets worse. You thought that was bad. Then he pulls out a bottle of like Tylenol 3 medication that he obviously got just after the surgery. And he's like, these stopped working and I had to take more. And I'm like, okay, so you just finished 2 small bottles of liquor.
I think we need to go back to the hospital.
So pretty much what I did is I'm like, okay, dude, I'm like, number one, you don't work here anymore. Like, this is insane. Like, to even imagine that you fathom that this is okay is like insane. Because I'm like, how in the hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have pretty, like, the company has very strict protocols on like everything, like no drugs, no alcohol, like nothing within 48 hours, like just nothing, 0 chance, 0 liability. You know, surprisingly has had very few accidents at all in the company in terms of like health and problems, right? It's insane. And the first thing I said to him is, I'm like, okay, let's go through the protocol. Let's, do what we need to do. But ultimately it's just like, you have people that are just like walking liabilities that no matter how many filter processes, you still have people like this where it's like, I don't know if that guy snuck it on during the actual day itself, if he did it before, but it's like all of these checkpoints is where it's like, it's so shitty because it's like, that puts not himself in danger, that puts other people. And pretty much I remember dropping him off at the hospital and just saying like, so we're both clear, like you understand, like you don't work with us anymore, right? And he's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
I'm
good
glad
on
that
you.
made
Hey,
sense.
I'm happy this ended with I dropped him off at the hospital because that was absolutely the right choice to make.
Like, you need to get your stitches redone. Like, I don't know. Like,
wow. I
mind-blowing.
can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Some stories are absolutely wild. Tristan, this was no exception. Thank you so much for sharing it. And I hope that the rest of that season went well.
Oh, it's incredible. It was so great. We hit records. It was actually great. Yeah, it was so funny. But yeah,
that is
just like,
wow, that is incredible. Thank you so much for the story. And I look forward to having you back for the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Take care.
It gives me absolute chills just thinking how badly that poor guy's arm must have hurt. Those aerator machines shake like crazy. I can't even imagine. Well, from a damaged arm to the oil and gas industry, it is my pleasure to welcome back to the show Stephanie, and she has yet another story for us. Stephanie, you're incredible. This is 3 stories for you in 4 episodes. Thank you so much for your support. Tell us what happened.
I know. I'm like the peanut gallery. I love sharing. It's fun to laugh. I love laughing and sharing good stories. Like, it's great. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to share some of these things.
What happened?
Well, okay. So I took the bus, and it's funny. I actually saw the bus starts with a D. If you worked up there, you would know about the red and white D buses up in Fort Mac. Anyway, so as my first shift, I got on. I was with a temporary job placement, and my boss, who I didn't know, picked me up in this big white truck that they all had big white trucks. My first day, and then drove me out to site. I had never even been out there yet, and I still remember it was like 5:00 in the morning. I crested the hill, and I saw the big southernmost plant site, the big massive one. It's like a whole city up there. And I was so like wowed about what was happening. And then the next day, and then I had to take the bus back. And there was like a number on the bus. I don't remember what the bus was. And it took me home. And then the next day, it was like, how do I get back to work the next day? I don't know what I'm doing. So I get outside and I'm early. Like, I'm not one to be early for anything. And because of where I was the first pickup. And I got on the bus, and it was the same bus that I took home. unbeknownst to me, I got on the wrong bus. And that bus
Oh no.
went to a site that was literally an hour further down the road.
Oh no.
It was like a secondary site. Like they had the same name, but it was like Plan A and Plan B kind of a thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I remember I crested the hill, the lights were shining past the city, and it's like, it's an hour ride out there. So like I'm talking, it was a 2-hour bus ride. Anyway, so I'm getting out there, and then I'm like, why are we not turning? What? And everybody's passed out on the bus, and I'm like shitting bricks, man. I was so freaked out. I'm gonna be late for work. Where am I going?
Yeah.
And then finally I get out to the plant site, and like there's no way to get back home. I'm like almost crying. And then I found some other driver that took pity on me and then took me back, which they're not supposed to do, like breaking all the safety rules. Oh my gosh, I was so scared. And the bus driver was pretty nice about the whole thing, was laughing at me. But I didn't take the bus the wrong the next time. And then another time I was on site, and they had like the inside the site buses, and then like the bus to go back to the city. So they were like the yellow school buses and then the red and white buses. Anyway, I was worked with there was like the corporate people that had like, there was like 10-hour shifts and 12-hour shifts. And so I always worked on like the longer shift, and like that was the bus that I took back. And then there was this other bus that would take you to like the to like 2 hours earlier. Anyway, so I was trying to take this yellow bus, and I didn't usually take it. So, and it was a little bit late, and like I got off work early, and I needed to be back in town, and like literally you're trapped out there. So I got the bus, it was late, and as we were pulling around the corner to go up to the camp where the buses pick you up, all the buses started to leave. And like, I never take that bus. So I'm like, again, like shit bricks, and I'm going to be stuck at camp for 2 hours, then I'm going to miss my appointment. I'm freaking out. And so, but nobody knows me because I don't usually take this bus, either one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you stop? Can you help? Can you radio them? And he's like, I can't. We're a totally different company. So I don't know what smile I gave them or how I manipulated it, but I got this bus, this little yellow bus, to like literally stop the whole caravan of these red and white buses. There was like 6 of them. And he like jammed right in front, and I like get out on site where I'm not supposed to be. And I bang on the door of the bus I'm supposed to take home. And the guy opens the door for me, and he's like, this is highly irregular. Like, I want to get home, man. So I got home, and it was like the most awkward hour bus ride, sitting in the back thinking this bus driver's so mad at me, and I like, broke all these safety rules, and I got home though.
Oh,
so
goodness. You know what? Yeah. The desire to get home, it's what we all want to do, isn't it?
Yeah. And I remember my boss was like, you don't mess with people's time and money. And it's like, and I still operate my business with that. Like, if somebody's trying to get out the door, you let them go. Like, it's stressful, man. Whew.
Yes. It's the desire to get home. It's what we all want to do. I think that's going to come up a lot on this show, is just all I wanted to do was get home.
Get home. Yeah. Especially when you have like an hour bus ride, or like the other, like, and then if I get stuck, then there's this one older guy that I used to drive home with in the big white trucks, and we like ended up sharing. And he was like passing out because you're driving, and it's like kind of stop, start, stop, and he would fall asleep. Like all of a sudden we're like going into the ditch. So I feel like it was what's that called when it's like incompetence, like weaponized incompetence. So we wouldn't let him drive anymore because we were scared to let him drive. So he manipulated himself out of that situation. But we didn't let him smoke in the truck because that's, I drew a line there.
No one likes that. Quitting smoking was like the best thing I ever did in my whole life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stephanie, another incredible story. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, from a very long bus ride to a wild Christmas party and a very near firing, it is my pleasure to welcome Nate to the show. Nate, where are you calling from?
Toronto, Ontario.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And you have a story that involves karaoke?
Unfortunately, I do. And how it also cost me my first job.
Oh. Oh, goodness. Tell us what happened.
Well, it was right after college. I was hired right out of college, and very appreciative and thankful for the opportunity that company gave me. And the role in particular was outside sales rep for a technical services company selling service contracts. The service company was part of a larger multi-service firm, so we were one division within that organization. So it was about 5 months at that point that I had been working with them when it was time for the annual company Christmas party. And it was, yeah, and held at local banquet hall because there were so many staff overall. And during the break between dinner and dessert, karaoke machine was fired up. And at that time, it was time for the various service groups to come up and belt out the best and worst variations of their favorite hits. And I had never really karaoke'd before, but I was all in. I was, again, so appreciative of them hiring me out of college. And I enjoyed a lot about the outside sales job that I had. And so just to, tie that off. And so I was all in for it, right? And then our division's turn came up and the service crew assembled at the front. And before they started their song, they made a point to find out where I was sitting and call me up. So, yeah, I went up and nervous. Yep, sure was. But I was all in. And I saw it as an opportunity to have some fun with the crew and the company overall. That gave me, this kid fresh out of college, a chance to get a foothold to start in my career. And again, this was sort of mid '90s. So again, back a ways. Best of all, I didn't have to sing alone. I thought. I get up there and I'm ready to go, part of the crew, and the crew kindly shuffling around so that I was in the front row. And then I see across from me in the first row of tables, my boss, the division president, and beside him, the owner of the entire shebang. No
pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. So the karaoke screen fires up. And then I see the song that the crew selected. And wouldn't you know it, it was Johnny Paycheck's Take This Job and Shove It.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, well, no backing out now. So,
oh no.
Bam. And for those that may not be familiar with the song, it drops right in to the message. There's no sort of intro, softly, getting into the song. It goes bam, right into the lyrics. Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. And gulp. I get through the second verse and I'm finding the supporting vocals are like tapering off. And I think, am I about to pass out here? Like, and I look around and no, it's the crew behind me was sort of backing away, actually leaving me to sing on my own. And gulp.
Oh my gosh.
And then comes, lyrics like, the foreman, he's a regular dog. The line boss, he's a fool. And the song ends mercifully, and I thought I made it through. Then I shamble off the stage, face burning with embarrassment. My boss, again, the president of the division, comes up and he puts his hand firmly on my shoulder, saying, "Nate, that's what we call a career-limiting move."
Oh my gosh.
In the most deadpanned, straight-faced delivery possible. And I thought, oh God, this is it. I've torched my career, not even 6 months into it.
Yeah.
And, of course, in my mind, right? You know me. The movie reel of catastrophic scenes of what the rest of my life was going to be like, ultimate disappointment to my parents and everything else like that. It's just a mushroom clouding out, it played out before me in an instant. And then just, he must have read it. He must have read the sort of panicked look in my eyes. And maybe my eyes rolled back into my head. I can't remember. And then he just cracked a wide smile and broke out in the biggest laugh. I just about collapsed right there on the floor. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, a good day shift story for you and the listeners, Kelly.
Well, Nate, that was a great story, and I can pretty much guarantee you it will not be the worst Christmas story that is told on this show. I can pretty much guarantee it. Because there have been some Christmas party nightmares out there. And use that as the segment. If you are hearing this show and you have a nightmarish Christmas story party, please call in and tell it on I Used to Work There, hr@IusedToWorkThere.com, and we will get you on the show. Nate, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing that story with us.
Oh, you're welcome, Kelly. This is great. I love this podcast, and I know that everybody that engages with it does too. So great job by you, and looking forward to hearing many more stories from the other listeners.
Thank you again, Nate, for an exceptional story. And you guys just know we are going to get so many Christmas party stories on this show. I can already see it. Our next story is all about the modern day, getting locked out of your house during a Zoom meeting. Shelby, welcome back to the show.
It's spring of 2020 in Alberta. Still cold, very cold, in fact. COVID is taking hold in a big way. People are starting to get nervous about the consequences of COVID in our area. People have started to stay home. I'm just 1 year into a contracted role. I'm freshly separated with 3 sweet and busy and chaotic little boys who don't yet have good childcare options. There is no school at this time. And I just want to do well at work. Like I'm working my butt off. I need this gig. I need this job. I got little boys to support and big ambitions too. And so here I am. I'm in a Zoom call. It's freezing outside, like actually freezing, like -20 outside. Still snow on the ground, icy, and my little boys are home with me. I'm in a Zoom meeting with like 8 to 10 of my coworkers and my boss, my bosses. And my little boy, who's about, 6 at the time, thereabouts, opens the door and my dog goes running out of the house and he's going out of the house. Oh, and his little brothers are going out of the house at the same time. So I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, my kid just let my dog out. I've got to go get them. I'll be right back. So barefoot, because I'm often barefoot, but I'm in the house. I'm doing what I do. And I'm like, okay, it's not uncommon for me to just step outside the house in my bare feet. Still do it often. And so I step out there really quick. I'm going to be fast because I got to get back to my Zoom meeting. Got to get back to work. Trying to call everybody inside. Okay, come on. I shut the door behind me because, it's cold. I'm trying to keep the heat in. Well, as I'm rounding everybody up, I realize I've locked myself out of my house, barefoot, with my children and my dog and my Zoom meeting happening. I'm just beside myself. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening, but I don't have time to get upset about it. I've just got to act. I need a solution and I need it right now. So I run around to the front of the house. I'm checking all the doors. Of course, everything's locked. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I literally peek through the window. I can see the Zoom meeting. I can hear the Zoom meeting because this is like a 1950s farmhouse. The windows are paper thin. So on that note, I'm like, the bathroom window is already a little bit broken. One of the panes was already broken. And I'm like, but here's the thing. You could also slide them up. They're slider windows. But it's 8 feet off the ground. I'm not a very tall person. So I'm finding pails or whatever junk in my yard I can possibly find to stand on this thing to try to get this window open. I'm so flustered and upset that this is happening right now, but like, what are you going to do? I need this job, so I'm trying to pry this window, open. It's not budging at all. So I basically just put my hand through the window. I'm just like, boom, broken. That's that. It allowed me to pry the thing open or like crawl through. I don't even know how I did it. All I know is glass was broken and I had a cut on my arm. I get through the window. I run to the door, call everybody in as quickly as I possibly can. I'm bleeding. My hair is like a friggin' disaster. It's all over the place. I'm so flustered. I just run back to my desk, sit down in my chair, and they're like, all my coworkers are like, oh, Shelby, you're back. Like, where'd you go? And I'm just like, you guys, I just locked myself out of my house and had to break my bathroom window. And they're just like, they could not believe the words that were coming out of my mouth. They were laughing. They were just in disbelief, as was I. And to this day, 7 years later, this story occasionally has come up with the folks that are still there. Hey, Shelby, remember that time you locked yourself out of your house during our team meeting and had to break through your... Yes, I remember. Don't remind me. Anyway, that's my story. The COVID work from home Zoom story. Not as good as Cat Lawyer, but, I think we all have them. The COVID Zoom stories. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Bye.
For those of you who may not know, Shelby is actually my fiance. And funny thing about this particular story, this happened right at the beginning of our relationship. And it happened more than once. There was actually a time that I was at her house later on that we actually locked ourselves out again and had to climb through that bathroom window, not once, but twice. So I can relate to this story. Funny moment. I remember it well. Thank you so much for sharing this story, Shelby. And if you too have locked yourself out of your house during a Zoom meeting or are a cat lawyer, because, we want to hear those too, please do submit your stories, hr@IusedToWorkThere.com. We want to hear all of the crazy things that happened to you guys during COVID. Our next story is all about getting lost in translation. Lorphil, tell us what happened.
I am an immigrant from the Philippines and I was new in Canada, so I don't know what washroom is. So one of our customer asking where is the washroom. So since in back home we call it as toilet and here is and washroom is different in back home, so I show him the sink, not the bathroom.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What? Yeah. So what did they do?
And he was shocked, like, oh, okay. And me, I'm just very okay, because my intention is to show him the washroom. I thought it's a wash sink, but yeah. It is what it is. So
it is what it is. That is absolutely incredible. Just out of curiosity, back home, what is a washroom in the Philippines?
Because the washroom is our wash sink. We will wash our hands in the sink. So we call it the washroom because we have a separate room for washing our hands. So I thought it's the same here in Canada because there's a sink, beside the toilet.
Yeah.
To wash your hands before they eat. So I show him that instead of the washroom, the toilet itself. So, yeah.
Well, that's incredible. You never know. There's always a little bit of lost in translation, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
There's lost in translation for people who English is their first language. You're absolutely crushing it, Lorphil.
Oh, yeah. That's why be careful, right? You have to study the country that you are living. You're planning to living.
That's right. But there's nothing quite like learning on the job when you get there, is there?
No, you just learn from it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the story, Lorphil. I think everyone got a little laugh today, so that's what's important.
Okay, yeah, you bet.
Such a great story, and we would absolutely love to hear more of them. If you have a story about lost in translation and it happened to you at work, we would love to hear it. It is time to switch over to the night shift. Before we get into the darker side of this workday, let's take a little coffee break. If your garage is packed, but your dream cars deserve better than a driveway, Atlas Elite Lifts might have exactly what you need. Atlas Elite Lifts helps you create more room, protect your vehicles, and turn your garage into something worth showing off. Visit www.atlaselitelifts.com or reach out to Jamie Crozier and the team on LinkedIn. All right, lights down, volume up. It's time for the night shift. And our very first story comes from a repeat caller. It is my pleasure to welcome David back to the show. We've heard some crazy stories from David, but he has one about working late. And who hasn't worked way too late? But you're not working late anymore, are you, David?
No. Only a couple dinners here and there because the food is good. That's all. That's after working late.
What happened?
Well, I started a journey into a manufacturing rep, I guess. That's the best way to put it. And if anybody out there knows about specifying and getting in front of engineers and architects or anybody that uses the product, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. It's not an easy task. But for me, I was already working the electrical trade. I already had my own showroom. I had a bit of influence out there. And I decided to jump into a larger scale manufacturer rep world. I was like, yeah, this is it. Let's try it out. I want to get on a project. I want to get onto the biggest project the city of Edmonton has. And at that time, it was the Ice District. So the Ice District, multiple high rises, massive arena, parkade, podium, fan park, on and on the list goes. And even to the day right now, it still hasn't been fully built yet. So it was a massive project on paper. I want to get involved. How do I get involved? Right? So I ended up working for a company, and it was a small team for specifying product. And easy. For me, it was easy work. Didn't think twice. I know model numbers pretty good. Decided to jump into this company, got onto the project. They gave me the list, and I was like, okay. At 8 o'clock, I had the meeting with the engineer. 12 o'clock, I'm having lunch with another one. 3 o'clock, I'm back in the office going, what happened today? It's all gone.
I know those days all too well.
Yeah. And then so I pull up the print and I'm like, oh no, this is huge. I can't, and I need to submit this by tomorrow by 11. He told me. So the next day, and I was like, all right, let's focus. Right, let's focus. So almost 200 item types on the list that I had to match or describe or not touch or something. So every single one had to be reviewed. And I'm like, okay, great, let's do this, right? So I closed the door to my office, didn't think twice, just gave her, got it, going. I'm excited. You know that energy that you get where you're focused and in that moment or in your vortex, right? You just give her. And it worked out very well. I didn't look out the window. I didn't look at the time. I didn't look at my watch, at my phone, nothing. I just go. And here I am thinking that I joined a company that is more family-orientated, team-orientated. Nobody knocked on the door. Nobody knocked on the glass. Nobody called me 3-4 times, to get my attention or anything. So for me, I was a little lost when I looked up off these prints and after I sent that email, and I was like, it's quiet in here. I was like, why is it so quiet in here? These people are rowdy here, right? I was like, what's going on? And so I finished it off the email, send it off, right? And I look up down the hallway, the lights are off both ways. It's like, no, there's no way they all left without me. Like, there's no way. There's no, right? And I walk out, and all of a sudden, Kelly, the motion sensor picks me up. They set the security alarm.
Oh no!
I was like, I'm not even in the corner office. Like, they should have seen me. Like, the light was on. I'm like, this gotta be a joke. This has to be a joke, right? And so I'm like, leaving the front desk. I'm like, okay, reset the alarm. I'm like looking around. I'm like, no, I can't get this in my head. I look at my phone. I missed a couple phone calls, mostly from the wife, but it's like, I'll call her when I'm in the car, right? Like kind of thing. And I go outside. Ooh, it's dark out. It's really dark out. And Edmonton, it gets dark early, right? Like mostly in winter.
Sure.
But no, then I actually, calm my brain down and I said, okay, you know what? You had a good time. You're a part of a big project. This is a big pat on the back for you. This is huge. This could end up being, for that project size, could end up being $8 to $9 million worth of orders. That's huge. So you're focused, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is great. I like it. Yeah, it was like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, wow.
But again, and nobody said anything to me. I'm like, oh, maybe they just know that I'm focused, right? But then it hit me. Like, it really hit me. And I realized that all that effort that I put in was just me, right? It wasn't a team effort. Yeah. It was just me that stayed behind to make sure something happens very uniquely in this company. It was just me again. It was like, I've never thought about me. I always say we. I never, it's like, we're going to finish this. We're going to complete this. It's going to go somewhere really good. And here I'm in the parking lot, Kelly, and there's no soul around, just my own car. And out of the, the Looney Tunes on cartoons that we used to watch as kids, that what is that? Weed that flies by when the wind,
Oh, yeah. A tumbleweed.
A tumbleweed, that's the one. Yeah, a tumbleweed goes right by and I start laughing. I'm like, there's no, I don't feel that lonely right now. Yep, I feel that lonely now. I jumped in the car and I'm like, it was so baffling to me that not even my boss stayed behind with me, right? And so I take a picture of the scenario and I send it to my boss. And I'm like, the last guy, killing it out there. He's like, that's what we're supposed to do. Keep up the good work. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson.
Clearly not. Out of curiosity, did you end up winning the bid?
We won half of it.
Okay.
So we won a total of almost, setting down over, but this is the thing, of course, of about 4 years, about $6 million worth.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you can't say it didn't pay off.
I know. I know.
Turns out hard work still matters.
Hard work still matters. Yeah, just do it at the right time.
That's right. Another incredible story. Thank you so much. And my goodness, to all of my workers out there who have worked late and have a story like this, let us know about it. Dude, incredible. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, thank you. All right. Adios.
For those of you saying, Kelly, I'm not sure that was a night shift story, I'm going to agree with you and say maybe not. But here's the deal. This next story is probably the darkest, most messed up, strangest, wildest, craziest story we have told on this show yet. So, trust me, it's going to make up for it. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome this anonymous caller to the show. They are calling from British Columbia, Canada, with a story that is going to absolutely blow your mind and have you telling everyone about it. And I hope you do, because we need more listeners and more stories on this show. Also, if you're listening to this story and you're like, holy shit, I can top it, let me know, because we need more stories like this on the show. Welcome, anonymous caller. Tell us what happened.
Hey, Kelly, here's my story for you. Hope you enjoy it. So at the time, I was a field soup for a service company. It was the middle of winter, probably minus 30 out, a pretty cold night. It was about 2:30 in the morning on a Tuesday, I think, and the phone rang, and it's one of our employees. So I answer the phone, and she is hysterical. Just starts going off about how she had to work today, but she's off work tomorrow, and she just went out for a few drinks and was hanging out with some friends, and then they were hanging out with some drug dealers, and now she's at 7-Eleven and she's been shot in the leg. It was a really weird phone call. Took a couple seconds for my brain to catch up because I was half asleep, and I didn't really know where to start, so all I said to her was, okay, I'll be right there. Hung up the phone and started my truck and got dressed and started making my way over there. And the whole drive, I'm just thinking to myself, like, there's no chance this is real. Like, she's just drunk, right? But anyway, I pull into the parking lot, and I can immediately tell she is just shithoused. Either blackout drunk or she's on something. And then I look at her leg, and then I look back up at her, and it's like, holy shit, you've actually been shot in the leg. It looked like it could have been a gunshot wound. It would have been small, maybe a 22, but it was like straight through the front of her shin. And that's kind of when it clicked in my head, like, no, I gotta call the cops. Like, you've been shot. As soon as I said that, she just completely loses it. Like, full on ugly crying, begging me not to call, like grabbing at my arm. Theatrical, almost. How much she didn't want me to call, but at this point it's 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, like I'm cold, I'm tired, I'm standing in the middle of a fucking gas station, like I'm done. So I just tell her to get off of me, and I ended up calling him anyway. So now we're just waiting at this convenience store, waiting for a cop to show up. She's just rage pacing around, like complete 180. As soon as I told her I was calling the police, she went from this poor woe is me to this stone cold pissed off woman. I'm just standing by the Keno stand, awkwardly in the corner there, just kind of looking at this poor migrant who's also watching this whole thing unfold. Thankfully nothing really happened there. He was cool about the whole thing, I imagine, and they see some pretty wild shit. But anyway, the whole time I'm just wondering, what the fuck am I even doing here? Anyway, this cop shows up. He talks to her first for a few minutes, and then he comes over to me and he asks what happened. So I tell him exactly what it was. That I got this phone call and I came to the store, and here we are now. And he just looks at me and says, she told me that she tripped and fell on a curb. I can tell from the way he's looking at me and I'm looking at him that we both know that this is horseshit. Like, there's no way this is real. But the cop says if that's her story, she's free to go with you. I didn't think that was quite how it was going to go. I figured there would have been some more questions asked and whatnot. So I just asked him, like, well, can we make her go to the hospital? And he looks at her and he says, do you want to go to the hospital? She said no. She just wanted to go back to the staff house. So then I tell her, like, that's not happening in your current state. I'll get you a hotel room. She seemed happy with that. The cop said that was fine. The cop looks at her and he says, I don't want to get any more phone calls about you tonight. And then he turns around and starts walking to his car. So we get in the truck. I'm just kind of sitting there thinking, like, we're done here. How disillusioned I am with how simple she was allowed to just give her story. And the cop was like, yeah, okay. That all baffled me a bit. But anyway, whatever. The night's over. I'm going to take her to this hotel. So I'm about to pull out, and she rolls down the window and yells at the cop, I have warrants. And I just look at her, and I remember very calmly just saying, why in the fuck would you tell him that? And at that point, I'm almost relieved, because I was like, whatever. Like, she's going to get arrested and I can just go home. The cop comes back over. You can tell he's not impressed. And in this defeated tone, he's just like, why do you think you have warrants? So through this whole conversation, I find out that she lied to the cop about her birthday and her last name. She gave her maiden name. So he goes back to his car, runs her real info, finds out she has a DUI in a different province. And then all he says is he doesn't have jurisdiction. But next time she's in that province, she needs to deal with it. And then he looked her dead in the eye. And he says, if I get another phone call about you, you're going to jail. And he told us to have a good night and started walking away again. So now it's just me and her again. And I just want the night to be over. So I just tell her, look, we can go to the hospital or we can go to the hotel room. Those are the only options. She thinks about it for a second and she says, okay, let's go to the hotel room. And then we're driving from this 7-Eleven to the hotel. She starts crying again and just kind of self-pity, telling me how good she is at her job and she's the best at her job and she's really good at her job and all the guys on her crew like working with her and she's really good at her job. And the whole time I'm just sitting there trying not to laugh because it's not even remotely the problem. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm glad you're good at your job, but you're fucked right now. Like, that's not the problem remotely. Anyway, we get to the hotel and we're sitting in the truck and she asked for my lighter. And she's had this cigarette hanging in her mouth the entire time. She already asked if she could smoke in the truck and I told her no. It's a company truck and even if it's mine, like, not happening. So I tell her, like, you get out and I'll give you the lighter because I know she's going to spark the second I give her that lighter. And she starts arguing with me. She's like, well, just give me the lighter and then I'll get out. I said, get out of the truck and I'll give you the lighter. I'll give you your lighter and I'll get out. Finally, I had enough. I stared her right in the eyes and I said, get the fuck out of my truck. And she just kind of stared at me for a few seconds saying nothing. And then she's like, geez, okay. Like, I'm the fucking problem here. Anyway, she has a smoke. I go back into the hotel here and she's outside smoking. I'm paying for the room. She comes back in and getting her all settled there. She starts getting a little mouthy. I remind her what the cop said about, like, if he has to come back here, you're going to jail. And then she asks me if I can go up to her room with her to help treat the fucking wound in her leg. And I just tell her there's no way that's happening. And it's not because I don't want to help, but, like, I'm not going into this room with you in your current state at 3:30 in the morning and getting accused of something that's going to ruin my life. Like, no way. So I offered her another ride to the hospital and she just said she'd go to sleep. So that's kind of where we parted ways. I left, I went home, I went to sleep. The next day, we were just completely ghosted. Tried to call her, didn't get anything. I found out at the end of the day that she actually just got a cab, went to the staff house, got her stuff, and then went to the airport. And none of us ever heard from her or saw her ever again.
That was absolutely the craziest story that has been told on this show yet. If this story resonated with you, if you have a story like it, I absolutely want to hear it. Please submit them. hr@IusedToWorkThere.com. This is the story call. We need 10 to 15 good stories for our next few episodes. Would absolutely love it to be yours. Send us a story and let me know. Please follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave us a rating, leave us a review. We need all the help we can get as we get this show off the ground. Until next time, I'm Kelly Kennedy, and we'll see you on the next shift.